في كتير طرق وسط الحياة تاهوا فيها ناس وطرق تبان مفروشة ورد وتنتهي بألم وضيق لكن الطريق للفرحة وطريق الخلاص عند المسيح أصل المسيح هو الحياة هو الطريق
So here we go. I guess Trump is going to announce that Jerusalem is going to be the capital of Israel, which makes sense, but sounds like the whole Muslim world. The king of Saudi Arabia, he's behind it all. Come on now. If you listen to the people who don't know, like Ambassador John Bolton, they will tell you that Iran is a leading exporter funding terrorism around the world. Iran is teeny tiny compared to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia in charge of our dollar, the euro, the pound, and the yen, and it always comes back to the death knell of every republic is foreign money, foreign intrigue. And as we do that, we're finding out also as we do our research that La Raza and the narco terrorism that's happening throughout the world all goes right back to this guy working with the Los Angeles police, with the Los Angeles sheriff. He's also hooked in with the New York and Atlanta and all of the people throughout the United States. So clip number 3, let's talk about this guy.
You have to ask them.
Well, I'm asking you.
CAIR
has been identified by the Department of Justice right down the street as an affiliate of the Muslim Brotherhood. You're a leader of CAIR in Los Angeles.
That's news to me. Thank you for that.
That you're a leader of CAIR?
That I'm a leader of CAIR? No. That the Department of Justice? No, I've been there. I've met with them. They never said that to me.
Suppose I show you the documents.
Whoever is telling you, maybe they're just playing.
It's the Department of Justice.
I showed that clip because this is the guy you just watched. He's denying that he's Muslim Brotherhood. This is from his Facebook page. I've done this a number of times on this show. The 4 fingers means he is Muslim Brotherhood. This means he supports al-Nusra and ISIS. And it all goes back to the money, the money, the money, the stuff that we've been talking about. And now I've got articles from retired drug enforcement agency about the nexus between drug trafficking and terrorism. And it always comes back to this issue here of money. Saudi Arabia is the leader, the leading export of terrorism throughout the world, funding terrorism everywhere throughout the world. It always comes back to the death knell of every republic is destroyed by foreign money. So it comes this article by Jeffrey James Higgins, retired DEA agent from 2017. It's recent, June 13, 2017. And this goes to Los Angeles again, to New York, to San Francisco. It goes to Houston. It goes to all the sanctuary cities because the sanctuary cities are bringing in these drug lords, these drug addicts, and people of this nature. Sanctuary city attracts them in jails and networks. LAPD, the LA Sheriff, narco-terrorism describes drug traffickers who engage in terrorist activities to protect their businesses. Now, once they get in across the border, they come to LA, to San Francisco, and then they murder women and rape women, and they get exonerated, as happened to this guy here. This little girl right here was murdered by this character here, and he was exonerated because of the narco-dictatorship, the symbiotic relationship between the sanctuary cities. San Francisco, Los Angeles, Houston, New York, and all. This is La Raza from 1980. La Raza, it's very difficult to see. I can email this to you. You can just Google images, put in La Raza 1980, and Yasser Arafat, right there. Yasser Arafat, the leading terrorist over there in the Middle East, Yasser Arafat, and he's behind it. Why? Well, it always keeps coming back to money, 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 money. And it keeps coming back to this leader of the Muslim Brotherhood through the whole United States. He might be located in California, but he's operating, connected, linked into all of the people. That clip you just saw where he's lying comes out of the East Coast. Hussam Aylouch, good friends of the LAPD and the LA Sheriff. It's very, very horrifying that you've got these guys here. La Raza, you got that poor little girl that was murdered. This guy here has been deported 20 times. You see him smiling. That's him in court after he had kidnapped and raped 2 women up in the Pacific Northwest. And he's smiling. He tells the people there, hey, I'll see you in hell. He had 10 counts, including sodomy, sexual assault, deported 20 times. And it goes back to the spirit of Los Angeles and the sanctuary cities and the money, 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 and the Hawala. Now, the Hawala, we have talked about the Hawala here, the international, the global networking of funding of terrorist funds and terrorist money, and that's why I show the King of Saudi Arabia with the spider web there, that it's all worked together. And here in California and operating with all 50 states throughout the United States, you have this character here. And so it talks about narco-terrorism. The commander in Afghanistan was normally a terrorist, not a trafficker, but he engaged in profitable heroin deal to facilitate the operation. One of the reasons he did that was to gain money, to get money, and also he was hooking our soldiers and Marines over in Afghanistan on heroin, trying to kill them. An effective, it's all wrapped in together, all of this stuff that's wrapped in together. Let's go to clip number 4. Clip number 4. Clip number 4.
I don't have any answer to ask other than enjoying
Beautiful weather, right?
Beautiful. Are you enjoying beautiful weather? Aren't you loving the cherry blossom?
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Do you have that in Florida?
Yes.
You do?
No cherry.
No, we don't have it in
We got
Florida.
beautiful, but you got beautiful vegetation.
We got beautiful weather there. Beautiful.
Is there a Muslim Brotherhood
And there
in
was
the
an
United
earthquake.
States?
I heard when I left in LA. Yeah.
So you left and it happened.
Is it true?
Can you watch my dad right there, please?
What is he doing there?
Oh, he argues pretty effectively for Palestine.
Oh, what is
He's just a guy,
What
a
is
street
his
guy, just a street guy. But he's pretty.
Don't you love the freedom that we have here?
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
He
You
argues.
have that in Florida?
He argues.
Same guy. I just showed it from the beginning, and he's lying. He's using the four Arabic words to mislead, although that gentleman who's interviewing, I know him very well, very smart guy, Tom Trento. He's using Takia, Kitman, Maruna, and Tariya to lie, to dissemble, so that he can operate effectively underneath the jurisdiction of the King of Saudi Arabia in the United States, and he can also get into the LAPD and these people, as I have described many, many times. We've gone over this a million times. This is the Muslim Brotherhood logo, the Arabic at the bottom there, which is prevalent. That guy's from the Los Angeles area. It's prevalent to wage jihad and terrorize the infidel. Okay, so here comes the players. We've got Mayor Garcetti, who's deeply involved in this. You've got the Charlie Beck, who is the police commander for the LAPD. They openly admit in LA that the Muslim Brotherhood is in the Los Angeles, Southern California area. And then they say they've changed and becoming nicer and kinder. And that's why I'm showing the picture of this character here, who's openly on his Facebook page says he's Muslim Brotherhood, the four fingers, and he supports ISIS. And then they interview him, and he uses lies to get established. Again, back to the four fingers. Now you have the president of Turkey, who, by the way, with his four fingers is Muslim Brotherhood, and he's the guy that came out yesterday and today and says he's going to have a big Muslim summit so that they can probably declare war on Israel and maybe the United States too, because President Trump is going to finally make Jerusalem the official capital of Israel in our eyes as Americans. And we come back to this guy here, Salam al-Mariyati, who's a member of the Muslim Brotherhood, Muslim Public Affairs Committee or Council, and his good friend, Sheriff Downing, Police Counterterrorism Commander Downing, who openly admits in a number of the clips that we've done that the Muslim Brotherhood exists, and he's aiding and abetting them in helping in the war on terror. So he's going, that'd be like in World War II, we go to Adolf Hitler and the German General Staff and ask them to come over to the United States and help us out as we fight in Europe. It makes no sense. Again, we come back to Garcetti, Mayor Garcetti, who is openly defiant about the sanctuary city, which is bringing in drug trafficking, ISIS, wicked worlds collide. We've got the very word assassin comes from the word hashish, which has been used by the Muslims for 1,400 years. They're all interconnected, and they all come right back to New York, to Houston, to Los Angeles, to San Francisco. Terrorism requires money to buy weapons and stuff. They got to sell drugs, and money. The Muslims, that's what they do. And we have the picture that I showed here of La Raza back in 1980. They're involved in this too, La Raza and Sanctuary City. Islamic terrorists, including Al-Qaeda and ISIS, raise funds from trafficking in Pakistan, in Afghanistan. Sources in Lebanon and Syria tell him the Hezbollah and these other people with sales of hashish. Hashish was corrupted from hashish to assassin or murder. They're all involved together. In the first instance, to gain a sanctuary, that these drug cartels have to gain sanctuaries in the Los Angeles area or wherever you go. These are Las Zetas. These guys are big-time drug traffickers in Mexico, and you can see they're getting ready to murder this guy here. They're all in this together. You got other pictures here of the drug guys, Sinaloa, and these guys with tattoos all over their face. They're linked back to this guy who was up there and raping and abusing, and he'd been deported 20 times and laughing in court at the people that he was going to get out. And then this is not just right now. This goes back many years. Here you have Yasser Arafat, Chelsea Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. They're all doing it together. Here you've got pictures of the drug cartels in Mexico, and there's ISIS. They're all in this together. Let's go to clip number one. Clip number one.
There is a lot of hypocrisy.
Swedish parliament member Amina Kakabeva knows a thing or two about Iran and headscarves. A Kurd born into a Muslim family in Iran, she became a Peshmerga guerrilla fighter as a teenager rather than lose her rights as a woman in Iran's Islamic theocracy. Today she is fighting for women as a member of Sweden's Left Party, but she's been called a racist and an Islamophobe when she speaks against Islamic fundamentalism or honor violence in immigrant communities.
So you say you're called sometimes an Islamophobe?
In Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is in Sweden. It is horrible, but unfortunately.
Her message is that in a nation that likes to think of itself as one of the most advanced societies in the world.
Okay, and now we're going to go to clip number 5, and we're going to really start weaving this stuff in. Clip number 5.
الله سلط عليهم طوال التاريخ من يؤدبهم نتيجة إفسادهم. آخر تأديب كان تأديب هتلر ما فعل بهم، وإن كان مبالغوا في الأمر ما بلغوا، ولكن استطاع أن يعني يوقفهم عند حدودهم، وكان هذا أدبا إلهيا، تأديبا إلهيا، عقابا قدريا لهؤلاء. والمرة القادمة إن شاء الله ستكون على.
All right, so there he is right there, Karwadawi. All right, now remember, we started off, we kept showing this guy here, Hussam Mailoush, and Karadari, big-time Muslim Brotherhood. From the Los Angeles Times. Oh, my goodness. Here they are together. Karadari, big-time Muslim Brotherhood saying jihad is how you spread Islam. He also has videos where he says if you leave Islam, we have to kill you. That's all part of Islam. Here's Qaradawi. Here's Hussam Aylouch. Hussam Aylouch, here he is. We saw him denying, lying, and everything else. This guy here, Hussam Aylouch, big-time player with the L.A. Sheriff and the LAPD. He actually was mentioned by the L.A. Sheriff for being a wonderful and great guy. We go to this picture right here. We see Michael Downing, again, who we just saw in the other picture with Hussam Mariotti. Got to go back through all these pictures and everything. Oh, well, what the heck. We all got it here, established everyone. There's Maher Hout, big-time Muslim Brotherhood. All these guys are Muslim Brotherhood, and they're working with the LAPD commander on counterterrorism, Michael Downing. One has to wonder what's wrong with Downing. Here we have Sheriff Baca, who on a video applauded Hussam Aylouch for the great things he did, and we showed this picture many times. This guy operated in San Diego and Northern Virginia to blow up the World Trade Center back in 2001. He is linked, Muslim Brotherhood, he is linked to all these guys, every one of them. Again, here we have Hussam Aylouch and Qaradawi. Goes back to the old war and hate and the peace, war and hate, peace and love. The war and the hate is all bara, war and hate. Now, this is from Arabic words, Muslim stuff. Allah means to love, but to love or peace and love, that means in the Arabic, Allah, you only love and have peace for the Muslims, not for the non-Muslims. For the non-Muslims, you have al-bara'ah, and that means war, hate. You hate those people, you want to kill them, which is what's going on. And so we saw that clip of Hussam Aylouch lying, dissembling, and fitting in with those four words of Taqiyya, Muruna, Kitman, and Tariya. And it all goes back again and again and again to the King of Saudi Arabia. The death knell of every republic is foreign money, and he's involved big time in the trafficking of drugs. Here's drug routes all over the world, drug routes here where they bring all of the drugs back to the United States and do things like that. Not only are they doing drug routes and drugs to fund terrorism in Los Angeles, and also sex slaves and pedophile rings in Los Angeles has been established with all these movie stars getting busted and everything that's happening in L.A. And believe me, the LAPD and the LA Sheriff, they know this stuff's going on, but it comes back to money, 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 money. Okay, involved also in the drug trafficking, in the sex slaves, in the pedophile rings, in all of these different things. You have harvesting of human organs in Kosovo, Albania, and Bosnia. They go in there, they'll capture Christians, they keep them alive so that when wealthy people over in Turkey or other Muslim countries need a heart or a liver or something like that, they will murder, they will kill the Christian, they will take out the lungs or the heart or the kidney or whatever it is and fly it over to Turkey or other countries, Muslim countries, and then they get money from that and they fund terrorism from that too. Here we have Bill Clinton with a known international crime lord, Hashim Thaki, who's a Prime Minister of Kosovo. He's involved in this, and we know, we have it documented that he has murdered people, and he's involved, you know, for this organ stuff and trafficking drugs and things of that nature. It's not just the Democrats, though. I hear that all the time. Here's Condoleezza Rice, and here's Hashim Thaki, and they're working together, and we actually supported them against the Christians in Kosovo. My son was involved in that. Here we have George W. Bush, the Republicans, and Hashim Thaki, known terrorists. They're all working together. They're all working together. And let's see how they do that. All wala, to love only Muslims. All bara, to hate all non-Muslims. Clip number 2.
Hejsan Toffe, jag vill först och främst tacka för att jag får komma hit och intervjua dig idag. Jag tänkte prata lite om en våldtäkt som du dömdes för 6 månader sedan.
Våldtäkt kallar du våldtäkt? Där domstol kallar du våldtäkt, jag kallar inte våldtäkt. Du kallar, om du ska prata med mig, får inte kalla du våldtäkt. För hon vill Allah. Jag såg hon ville.
Kan jag berätta dig ur ditt perspektiv vad som hände den natten? Det är exakt 6 6 månader sedan.
Exakt, det var den 13 januari. Det var kallt ute, jag hade min jacka på mig. Jag köpte den, jag är rik. Därför tjejer gillar mig. Och jag såg min lilla mig också, för jag gick till bostadsplats. Och det var mörkt, det var på natten.
So that guy there, he's fulfilling al-Wala, the Arabic, which means to love the Muslim and love Islam, and al-Bara'a, to hate the non-Muslim. So when he is raping the women, he is loving Islam and hating the infidel. He loves Islam, which permits Muslim men to rape women, to beat non-Muslim women, and to do all the horrible, evil things they do, because that's a loving thing for Islam and the Muslims. And in the al-Bara'a, then he is permitted under Islamic Sharia law to go out and rape women and do all the things that he's doing. Clip number 5. Clip number 5.
الله سلط عليهم طوال التاريخ من يؤدبهم نتيجة إفسادهم. آخر تأديب كان تأديب هتلر.
So here we come, right back where we started again. There we have Hussam Ayloush in the first clip that I showed where he's lying. There's no Muslim Brotherhood in the United States, and there's Karwadawi. And these two characters here are both linked to this character here. And this character here is linked to the former sheriff of Los Angeles because he was helping the Muslim Brotherhood. And this character here is linked to Michael Downing, the counterterrorism commander for LA, who aids and abets the Muslim Brotherhood, and we've shown that in clips. And this guy here is linked to Karadawi, who says that it's okay to go out and kill people under Islam. You spread jihad that way. And here you have, again, the guy in San Diego, Northern Virginia, linked to this character here, Hussam Ayloush, who's a member of the Muslim Brotherhood and who supports ISIS. And then again, we have Ayloush, and we have Karadawi, and we have the logo of the Muslim Brotherhood down here from the Quran, Surah 860, to wage jihad or war and terrorize everybody. And here we have the King of Saudi Arabia again, so that the death knell of every republic is foreign money. And then with the sanctuary cities coming in through LA, New York, and Houston, this guy can be deported 20 times, comes back and rapes 2 women. Drug dealers, narco, terrorism working together to destroy us. You got Los Zetos, and this is aided and abetted by Mayor Garcetti, and aided and abetted by Michael Downing, counterterrorism commander of the LAPD, working with Muslim Brotherhood, who's on the faculty of the Claremont School of Theology in the Los Angeles area, the leader of the Muslim Brotherhood of Turkey, who's now calling for all the Muslims to get together, probably to declare war on Israel for having the capital come in through there. And then you have back to Garcetti, mayor of LA, police chief of LA, and I've shown this clip 5 million times, I never exaggerate, that under Christianity, true religion is taking care of widows and orphans, James 1:27, and under Islam, it is to do Surah 860 to wage jihad or war and terrorize, and it all comes back again to money, 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 with the King of Saudi Arabia, and then all of the drug trafficking coming through, so one crime begets another crime, so the drug trafficking is not enough money, so then they got to go out and kill people, harvest their organs, they have to have sex slaves, they have to have pedophilia, they have to have all of this human trafficking and things, kidnapping that they do to come up with more and more and more money. And here again, this guy was protected by all of the politicians, the police, and every sheriff of San Diego, and also when he moved to Northern Virginia, because they came back and they said, well, under the First Amendment, any religion can do whatever they want to do. And again, the death knell of every republic is foreign money. We've said that before. Here we've got, how can we fool the infidel? Money. Again, that's what the Saudi Arabians are doing, buying off the LAPD. They're buying off our politicians. The sanctuary cities, the article by the drug enforcement agent clearly points out that they need more money and that the police chiefs and the sheriffs and the politicians are all involved. And the 4 Arabic words that they use, Taqiya, Kitman, Maruna, and Tariya, to get these less than honorable people to do what they want to do. It's horrible stuff. And then, of course, we have the ISIS flag, which is based on the Shahada. There's no Allah but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger, or there's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. And it's all right there. And it comes down to the overarching, the contrast, why they want to destroy the West, so they can destroy Israel. So when Donald Trump is stating that, yeah, we're going to make Jerusalem the capital of Israel, then these guys here all over the world, they want to attack the Muslim Brotherhood all over the world. They want to attack and destroy Israel. They're not going to do it. They're going to try every way they can, basically trying to do the drug deals and everything else that they want. This character here is funding it all, as former Secretary of State Schultz said, that it's a grotesque protection racket where he has to buy up the terrorists not to kill them. And in that terrorist racket, grotesque racket, he has to pay off these guys here so that, number one, they won't attack and kill him, but they will go out and attack and kill the rest of the world. So, contrasting our purpose of education in the West with the purpose of education of Islam. In the West, the overarching purpose of education in the West is to transmit the wisdom of our ancestors to every child, that we might all live in the land with the highest degree of peace, order, liberty, and prosperity. Considered and contrasted with the overarching purpose of education in Islam is to send only boys to madrasas to beat them into memorizing the Quran, and to send these little jihadists throughout the world to convert every nation into the regime of 7th century Arabia under Muhammad, thereby causing the highest degree of hostility, disorder, slavery, poverty, and misogyny. And sadly, the LAPD is opening up its county, its whole area, enticing these drug cartels, these people supported by the Muslim Brotherhood of Turkey, by working together with the LAPD counterterrorism commander and Mariotti of the Muslim Brotherhood to come up into LA and do all these horrible, egregious things that they're doing. Clip number 6. Clip number 6. Clip number 7. Let's go. Clip number 7.
Now, if my Muslim friends were here, and I invited some, I invited Hassan Shibli, who used to be a friend of mine until he went over to CAIR, which is a terrorist organization. And I tell all my former Muslim friends, if you go to CAIR, you become an enemy of the state and an enemy of Tom Trento, an ideological enemy. It's that simple. Hassan Shibli, I understand, was working his little scam with the city of Venice. They do this all the time all over the country. When one of us speaks someplace, they go in, play the victim card, and try to get the administration in a particular municipality ultimately to do sensitivity training. CAIR is a terrorist organization. They are Hamas. I'm going to establish evidence.
All right. So he's talking about this guy who's in charge of CAIR for Southern California, who's working in conjunction with the counterterrorism commander, Michael Downing, with Salam al-Mariotti, who's also working together. And they are working together with Muslim Brotherhood, Qaradawi, who says jihad is good and that you can go out and kill people in the name of jihad, and that's peaceful and wonderful. Hussam Iloush again. We got the Muslim Brotherhood logo with Surah 860 down there. We got Sheriff Baca, who's been kicked out of being a sheriff because evidently he's a criminal. And they're all working together because they all love power, and power comes from money, and the money's coming from the Saudi Arabian king, manipulating and working with the dollar, with the euro, with the pound, and with the yen. They're all working together, and stupidly they're helping the Muslim Brotherhood, ISIS flag here, and they're all ultimately coming back to this guy here and this guy here, Salam al-Mariyati. I think I have proved beyond the shadow of a doubt that we have some problems in the United States, and I'll end on this note here, that this guy is allowed to go into the jails. His name is Shakil Saeed. He goes into all the jails and prisons. He is Muslim Brotherhood, and he's going in there and he's recruiting these gangbangers and these terrorists to come and be the frontline soldiers. I'm done. I'll see you next week. God bless you all.
في كتير طرق وسط الحياة تاهوا فيها ناس، وطرق تبان مفروشة ورد وتنتهي بألم وضيق، لكن الطريق للفرحة وطريق الخلاص